Hello and welcome to Sisters on Your Sofa. I am Crystal Gornto, the founder of HeartStories, and I'm here today with Chelsey Rogers of ColorHype.
Yes,
welcome.
So excited to be here.
We are so glad to have you. So Chelsey is our featured guest for our upcoming Gilded Ink Girls Night Out. And we just want to get to know you a little bit. So there's no better place to do that than having a sister by your side on the sofa. And you are actually our very first on the sofa because we started during quarantine and we were doing all of our Sisters on Your Sofa virtually. So I'm so excited to have you on the actual sofa.
So excited to be here.
Yay! So tell us about, I want to just hear kind of from the beginning, how'd you end up in Texas? Tell us about you and your family and then maybe how you got to Texas.
So I'm actually from Texas.
Cool.
I'm from, originally born in Paris, Texas, moved to Texarkana. So I have a Texarkana, I'm from there. Okay. And then we moved to the Dallas area 5 years ago. Okay. And so basically, like I have a 10-year-old son. Okay, so I have a 10-year-old son.
What's his name?
His name is Carter, and he's in the 5th grade. And then I'm married to my husband Josh. We've been married for I'm really bad with numbers. I think it's 14.
14 years.
14 years.
Sounds
Next
good.
year's 15. Yes.
Okay.
So we have a great life. I'm obviously a very, very busy person.
Yes.
But the family makeup, the way we kind of all works really well.
So. It's so good. So good. Well, tell us, so you're a busy person and that is so much by choice. So what were you doing? I want to hear all about how you started painting. What were you doing before you started ColorHype?
Well, you know, what's so crazy is like I just started painting 10 years ago.
Oh,
so I just did it on a whim, just like randomly I needed a stress reliever from my everyday job, which was like banking at the time. And so, and then it became kind of like a fun thing I would do occasionally, and then I started watching a lot of YouTube videos to show me different things, and then I had friends who would say, "Hey Chelsey, could you show me how you did that?" Because I would post about it. And then it became bigger groups of friends asking me to do things.
You're having parties.
And then we were have a whole party, you know. And I actually have an MBA, so my business side of me was like, I could do this for real. So to become more of a legit art teacher, I first of all just jumped into teaching, and I started with math, and then I actually transitioned into art later. So I taught in Princeton ISD art for 2 years, and then I moved to Frisco ISD.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I love it. I quit my high school art job, my real job, last May.
Oh my goodness.
To take ColorHype full time.
That's amazing. So when did you actually start ColorHype though? When did you
January 2018.
2018? So it really hasn't been that long.
No, it's still a baby.
Exploded. Oh, it's incredible.
It's like it'll be 3 years old.
You're such a pro. I love that you said like to become legit. I became a teacher. I'm like, because to become legit in anything, you just start and you just do it.
No, and I very much do that. Like I'm much of a doer. Like I like to just do the things, and then fingers crossed they'll work out.
It's amazing.
And so that's kind of how it's all gone.
It's all gone. And too, it's totally true. I follow Seth Godin like crazy. I follow everything he does, and I'll never forget he told a story one time about, it was an art class, a pottery class, something it was a college course, and they had to start the course not knowing anything, and then one half of the class he divided them up and they got to create the project. I think it was art, let's call it pottery. Yeah. But they had to create the project every single week. They had to turn one in, and the other team had to plan and execute, like put together this full plan with all these goals and projections and measurements and all these things, and they only got to build it once at the very end. And then he took the final grade just on their final project. Right. But the team who had been repeating the work over and over and over again, theirs was incredibly, it was a lot better and much better than the one who had planned and tried to execute everything perfectly one time. Right. So I just love that. I have always loved and appreciated that story, that of course the first week they did it wasn't good, but while the other team was busy planning, they were busy doing. Right. Which is exactly what you do. So how often, I know right now you're teaching, tell us all the places. You have a studio, you teach down at Reunion Tower, you do corporate groups, like all the things.
Oh goodness, I do all the things. Okay, so before COVID, pre-March, I was hosting 17 to 20 classes in person a month. Okay?
Oh my word.
So it was already to the point I was like sold out for 2 months.
Oh my
so
goodness.
once COVID hit, and then I realized everything was shut down. I had to figure out what to do for those 200 people I had who had already
on a waiting list.
Tickets.
Yes.
And so I figured out that I could make them a kit, and I offered that to them. Then people were like, "Oh, that's cool, you do kits. Like, could you sell me a kit? Like, that'd be fun. Like, I could do that at home while I don't have anything else to do."
Right.
And so I sold like 100 in the first week. So that was like, okay, like, this could be a thing. Like, this could be cool. And then it became slowly, like, it just kept progressing. I've started reaching out to corporate offices. So I work with Dell and Frito-Lay and a bunch of other just random corporate offices, and I ship kits out. So this week we are hitting 2,800 kits that we've sent out since the end of March. So it's pretty crazy.
Bravo!
It's pretty crazy. But I mean, I also do that now. So like right now I'm struggling a little internally because I do so many virtual, but then now I'm also like working on keeping my in-persons alive, and keeping them going for all my people who love to be able to create. And so I'm at Reunion Tower, I'm at Tup's Brewery, I'm at Petticola's. I do like to-go kits for them. And then I do Mess and a Half and Grapevine. So I kind of just go all over.
So busy.
I go all over.
It's incredible. So tell me, what's your favorite thing about what you do? Both, and maybe it's different in person and virtual, or maybe it's the same.
No, it's the same. I love, one of the biggest things about my business and starting ColorHype is that I want to see people create and not be so stressed out by the creation. So as a high school art teacher, that's kind of what I wanted too. I would give them a medium and then I would say, okay, now you create, right?
Yes.
So I wanted to take that into the business as well. So one of the biggest things is that I really focus on, like, I would never like teach you how to paint a tree, like, or like you go paint and sip with your girlfriends, and we're all so focused on getting this tree perfect. I wouldn't want to like put that on someone. I would want you to just give you the medium and then just see you create, see what you do. It's all in the creation. It's all in how you see it and how you view it, and that's what my goal is. And so that's like what way it is with all of the classes that I teach.
I love that. I love it. I love it because when we first started talking about this class, the actual alcohol and gold leaf, alcohol, ink, and gold leaf class, not alcohol and gold leaf. But we talked about how there's the connection between imperfection and how that the Japanese pottery, I think it's called kintsugi something, where it's about like repairing the pottery with gold. With gold glue or whatever, where they're actually highlighting the broken pieces. And you said that that's what you do with the artist. When it feels like there's an imperfection, you go back and highlight it with the gold leaf. Right.
We take at the very end of this class, we take the piece that we've created and we take a piece of gold leaf, and then we're going to look for those maybe really dark areas or like imperfections or areas that we don't really love, and we're going to take gold leaf, we're going to place that in those areas and make it, just be beautiful.
Yes, and it just highlights it. It makes just makes my heart so happy. Okay, so on that note, tell us like just more about you. Like, I want to know, what is bringing you joy right now? What's making you happy and bringing you joy in your life right now? I know you're busy and there's all the things, but when you think about, this is my happy place, this is what's bringing me joy.
I get really excited about, obviously it is a stressful time. I feel like right now is really stressful just with all the things going on.
Yes.
But I really find joy in that I'm creating something. I feel like I'm creating something big, and I feel I love being able to see people enjoy it and see people like really get excited about creating, and like not that they don't get super bummed out or they stressed out by the class, that they just take something and then they just find something they create with that medium. And so that's what I find joy in. I have visions of it being nationally known and having warehouses all over and things. And
that's amazing.
So anyways, we'll see.
I love it. We will see. We get a front row seat. We're going to watch. Okay, so finally, before we go, because we're on the sofa, sisters on the sofa, tell me, what is the advice that you would give a younger sister? Maybe it's the same advice you would give your younger self, but what would you what advice at this stage of your life and or your business, what advice would you give a younger sister?
My advice is always that you don't question your gut. Like if you know this is what you're wanting to do, you get so excited by that one thing. Like that thing is inspiring you to do something. So don't question yourself. Just do it.
That's amazing. I love that advice. In fact, I was telling you about the book I was listening to this morning, and she talks about the very thing, that sometimes the thing that holds us back is the questions, and sometimes they're not even from yourself. Like it's the people around you don't necessarily see the vision and believe what you believe. That you see is going to happen. The warehouses and the nationally known and all of that.
You wouldn't believe how many times I have to like convince my husband, no, this is
exactly.
This is happening. And then he understands, you know, like he's like, okay, I get it.
Yes, but it's beautiful that you keep believing. So that is such amazing advice. Thank you for that. Okay, and thank you for being here today. Thank you for leading our girls' night. We are so thrilled to have you. Just such an honor, really, to have you lead us.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. We'll see you on Thursday at girls' night.
Sounds good.